Today we're covering 8th grade, Chapter 10, Lesson 2, Savings and Investments. A loan is money you borrow that must be repaid. And we've talked about this before. Principal is the amount of money you either borrow or invest. And all of these depend on an interest rate, which is a percentage you are charged for borrowing the money, which must be repaid. And way before Christmas, we talked about simple interest. And we used the formula I equals PRT. And now we're going to add another formula for compound interest, which is earnings that are calculated on the original amount plus an accumulated interest. And there's the formula for compound interest. And they use some of the same letters. Those letters stand for P is for principal, R is for rate, which is always a percent, T is for time, typically in years, and A is for the amount, the ending amount. Not really. It stands for accumulated. So that's like the accumulated interest, the total balance. So let's do a practice problem where we compare these two things. Example, Yolanda deposited $3,000 into an account that earns 4% simple interest. Marcus deposited $3,000 into an account that earned 4% compound interest. How much money does Marcus have at the end of 3 years? Well, simple interest would be 3,000 times the rate, which was 4%, times 3 years, and that's what Yolanda would have. How much more money does Marcus have? His formula is a little bit harder because it's accumulated. It's principal times 1 plus the rate to the power of how many years it is. So the principal was still $3,000. 1 plus the rate, which was 0.04, to the power of 3. So 1 plus 0.04 would be 1.04. So as you can see, the multiplication for this problem is going to be a little bit more difficult. But 1.04 times 1.04 times 1.04 comes out to 1.124864. Wow. Times 3,000. And then if you multiply those together, the new balance is $3,374.59. The difference in this formula is that's his balance. What we got over here for Yolanda was just her interest. So who got more interest, Marcus or Yolanda? So you kind of have to subtract the $3,000 that we started with to figure out how much Marcus's balance was, or how much his interest was. So it looks like his interest was $374.59, which is more than Yolanda's. So compound interest is way better than simple interest. You get more money. However, it is more difficult to calculate. On the examples you're going to be doing, you're comparing the simple interest to some compound interest. And you can use the calculator. You might want to convert that to a decimal first. And you still, after you convert it to a decimal, you have to move the decimal 2 spaces to get rid of the percent sign. So 1 and 2 are both simple interest, and then 3 and 4 are both compound interest. And then you have a couple of examples down at the bottom to see how much Nicholas has in each of his